I just want to thank our sponsors for this, because if we didn't have sponsors, we couldn't do events like this. So Community Trust Bank and the Frankfurt Plant Board have really stepped up for us on this occasion and been such great partners. The Frankfurt Plant Board, along with all of our media partners, the State Journal and Foolproof, are partners that we just can't do things without. So thank you, and if you guys will help me give a round to our partners today. And if you will help me welcome one of our media partners, the State Journal, if you will help me welcome Mary Latek, the advertising director for the State Journal. She's going to start us off with an award.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this event. I'm advertising director for the State Journal, Frank Magazine, and our related digital products. And after more than a century of continuous publication and service to the people of Frankfurt and Franklin County, the State Journal has a special appreciation for resilience in business. Through world wars, natural disasters, technological revolutions, and most recently, a global health pandemic, we have not just endured but prevailed. It is our high honor to present the State Journal Resilience Award, which recognizes a local business and Chamber of Commerce member that has served the community continuously for at least 40 years. This year's honoree has made it well past 40. In fact, they've been tickling the taste buds of their customers for 103 years. We are proud to present this year's State Journal Resilience Award to Charles Boo and Rebecca Ruth Chocolates.
Take this opportunity to introduce my daughter, Sarah Boo, who has joined the company.
So this next lady I'm going to introduce, you all know her very well, Miss Kathy Lindsay from the State, or from the, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to do, sorry. We're going to have Community Trust Bank come up and say a few sponsor words. So John Center, if you'd like to come up, thank you so much for being our sponsor for today. We appreciate you guys so much and what you do for our community.
Thanks, Tish. Good morning, everybody. And other than the weather outside, what a great morning to be here. It's great to see so many faces that I haven't seen in the last couple years. But this is always an event that I look forward to on my calendar. Having our community leaders here talk about the positive things that are happening in our community. And a lot of times we hear a lot of negative, but today it's all about the positive, and I look forward to that. The Chamber is doing such a great job. We had our annual meeting a couple weeks ago, 265 people over at the Capitol Plaza Hotel. And this morning, Tish tells me we have a little over 90 people that were signed up and here this morning. So a round of applause for the Chamber and the staff and for everybody for being here this morning. They're really doing a great job, and it's great to see everybody here this morning. On behalf of Community Trust Bank, welcome, and we'll turn it back over to Trish. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to our media partner, Kathy Lindsay. I can't say enough about what the Frankfurt Plant Board does for the Chamber of Commerce. We appreciate them, what they do in the community, not just for us, but for all of you as well. So please help me welcome our Government Affairs Chair, who is also putting this event on, Kathy Lindsay with the Frankfurt Plant Board.
Thank you. Good morning. So good to see everybody in one place, and it's nice. First, I'm Kathy Lindsay. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Frankfurt Plant Board. I'm so happy to be here today. I would like to recognize some folks from the Plant Board. We've got Gary Zing here, who is our General Manager. And we also have board members Steve Mason and Catherine Dutton Mitchell. So I want to thank them for being here today, and again, appreciate everything that they do for the Frankfurt Plant Board. Now, I would just give a quick overview of our services, but I think we're all aware of what the Frankfurt Plant Board does. I'm sure this morning we all got up, turned the light on, took a shower, maybe turned on cable news, maybe surfed the internet a little bit for some headlines. That's what we do. But besides just the services that the Frankfurt Plant Board provides, as far as electric, water, telecom, we're about more than the services we provide. We're about this community. We're a nonprofit public utility, and that means that we're owned by the community, and that's you. So congratulations, yay. There are many benefits to a community that enjoys owning a public utility like the Frankfurt Plant Board. For one, we live here. People who work for the FPB, we all live in this community. I've lived here all my life. And we're right here. If a customer has a problem, if a business has a complaint, if you're having service issues or anything going on, we're right here. When we have outages, we're right here. We're getting them taken care of right off the bat. You can come to our office, you can call us anytime. And by the way, that service is 24/7. We have a group of people who are working nonstop at the Frankfurt Plant Board. We have a staff that is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to answer any of your questions. So that's awesome. Customer utility dollars stay right here in our community. We're creating jobs and supporting the local economy because things that we buy for our company, we buy them from businesses here in our town. Decisions about the operation of the plant board are made locally by members of our community, and some of them are right here. So that is something that we do, and those decisions are made at open public meetings. So any of you all are welcome to come at any time because you have input, because you are our owners. Because of this, we are uniquely able to respond to our community needs. We can build on our community strengths, and we can reflect the community's values. And that's what we're about, and that's why we try to partner. And I'm recognizing a lot of faces in the room today because we've partnered with you on some project or some issue, or maybe we're in the same civic group. Again, if you have any problems, not only can you come to our meetings, but you may run into us at the grocery store. So, or at a Kiwanis meeting, or at lunch somewhere. So we're always willing to work with our customer owners because that's what we're all about. Our goal is to put our ratepayers first and provide opportunities that improve the quality of life for our community. And as a municipal utility, we don't have corporate stockholders that are taking up all the profits. That's why we reinvest everything that we get back into our community to improve the services that we have, whether that's through capital projects or through rebates. We've returned, since 2019, about $5.2 million back directly to our customers. We've also done things like water fountains in the parks and the schools. We have free Wi-Fi zones. We have EV charging stations, and we provide college scholarships to public high school students. So some new projects that we have going on, and we've left little brochures on the table. We do have a program going on right now called the Affordable Connectivity Program, and that's going to give you $30 off your internet every month. And if you qualify, that is great. But let me tell you how you're going to qualify. If you have a student in the Frankfurt Independent School System, any age, you're going to qualify for that, and that's $30 off a month. So take one of those home if you have a kid. If you have a student in middle or elementary school of our Franklin County schools, you're automatically going to qualify for $30 off your internet. So that's the ACP. Take that brochure home, look it up on our website, and it's a 5-minute sign up. You can get that done. We also have our AMI program, which is smart meters, and that's going on. It's going to be for every electric and water meter in our service area, and that is going to be a game changer for all of us because it's going to be more accurate in your readings. We're going to know about outages practically immediately. You're going to be able to view your usage at pretty much every 15 minutes if you want, so you know how much energy you're using. You'll be able to detect leaks earlier, and in the future, there's going to be a way to make payment options more flexible for those. There'll be like a pay-as-you-go, so you'll know you can put so much money in, and then you can know how much. If you need to cut back on your energy, you can do that because you only want to spend so much. The last thing we have is our next band. It's our fiber product, And we're rolling that out, and that's going to bring gigabit speeds to all of our service territory, in addition to certain areas in Franklin County that have never been served by internet before. So we're happy to do that. As far as I'm concerned, and I would say, and it's my job, I would say that FBB is one of the most important assets that our community has because of all of these services that we provide, the partnerships that we have with each and every one of you. But here's the thing, and I'm going to say something that I'm hoping that every leader that comes up here is going to say, and is that we need your support. We're all a family here in Frankfort. We're the Frankfort family. And a community working together is so successful. And that's how we're going to get things done. And that's why we do things like this here today. We're bringing every portion of our community together to talk about things that we can do to be more successful. And we know that Frankfort supports each other. And that's why we're here. And together, we have shared goals for this community. And together, we can make it better. So, thank you. So now, I'm going to invite those leaders up here now, and I think we have County Judge Executive Houston Wells, Mayor Elaine Wilkerson, Superintendents Houston Barber and Mark Kopp, and we have Dr. Kirk Pomper from Kentucky State University. So while they're coming up real quick, I do want to, again, thank you all for coming. This is an event sponsored by the Government Affairs Committee of the Chamber of Commerce. So I want to recognize our members of that committee. If I can remember them all besides me. It's Karen Wheeler. I think I saw Karen here earlier. John Graham, Jonathan Vaught, Holly Spade, Daryl Thompson, Rodney Williams, Terry Bradshaw, Birch Bragg, and Carl Lawrence. And if I miss somebody, I'm sorry, just stand up anyway. But these are, it's our Government Affairs Committee for the Chamber of Commerce. Okay, y'all can have a seat. Because we're getting ready to have our first speaker up, and we better do it quick, because he's a short timer. Yeah. So, it's my pleasure this morning to introduce our first speaker. He is he's a product of Frankfort. We're glad to say that, and we're really proud of him that he's going to move on to some big endeavors. And well, this will always be home for him, but right now he is still our Frankfort Independent School Superintendent, Houston Barber.
Thank you. Just want to say Frankfort Independent Schools is the place to be. We've got a lot going on. We recently opened our Healthy Kids Clinic, which provides supports for all our students, our staff, mental health, and it's full-time service. And so each and every student gets access to that, and it's in our schools. We also had a wonderful opportunity where our kids have been able to access just different programming. So we travel both to Franklin County and to Marshall County for career and tech opportunities. And so that's been really a passion of mine to help our kids get access to everything from welding, carpentry, and anything that their passion desires. Our kids are performing at high levels. It's just a wonderful district. I'll be finishing my 7th year. It is home to me. We're not moving anywhere, by the way. My kids will stay in FIS. Good. Will not be recruited to Franklin County. Even though I love that district. It's a very good district, sir. But we've got a lot happening, and I want to say that it's a great place to be. So we've built a great team. There's going to be incredible leadership come in. There's going to be great candidates. There's no one person that runs that system. So I'm very passionate to tell you that the system will continue to elevate and grow. And so Frankfort is a wonderful place. I think that, by telling you this, I've seen some growth. Our enrollment continues to grow. And as a result of people wanting to live and be a part of the Frankfort community. Finally, we recently renovated our gymnasium. If you have not seen our gymnasium, I will tell you, you need to come and witness the transformation. It is probably the most incredible gym in not just Frankfurt, but across the region. And we offer a lot. We can even have graduation in there. We'll let you do graduation if you'd like. But I love my good friend over here. The sad part is he gets the mic next. So I was praying that. But Frankfurt Independent Schools is the place to be. We are part of this community. We're passionate about our growth and development, and we will continue to elevate and meet the need of where our families are, where our kids are, and just look forward to seeing the growth happen. I'll be right here with you as a dad and a citizen. So if you need me for some community opportunities, I'll be right here to help elevate those. So go Panthers.
I do want to tell people, if you do have a question for any of these gentlemen after they're all done speaking, you can write it down. Do we have paper? We have paper, Tish. Tish is going to bring some papers around. If anybody has a question, write it down and hold it up, and Tish will get it, and we'll get those questions going too. Did y'all know there was questions? Okay. Surprise. So next I'm going to introduce the superintendent of Franklin County Schools, and you've been here how long? 5 years. And he's done a great job for the Franklin County District, and we love having him here in our community, so let's welcome Mark Cobb.
So I am the only superintendent on the stage that isn't bailing on their district to go somewhere else. I'm just kidding, my good friend. I truly am. Houston, you're the man, and we're going to miss you greatly, and I know your district will continue to do great things, so I appreciate that. Wanted to talk about some of the great things that are going on at Franklin County Schools. We have had a wonderful year this year, as evidenced by our impact survey results. In Kentucky, all staff members they fill out what's called it used to be the TEL survey, now it's the impact survey. And across the state, because of COVID this year, almost every school district's numbers went down. People were very unhappy with how things have gone with COVID. Our district was one of the very few districts that in every area we increased. We're doing really solid things for our staff, for our students. I could stand up here and talk about a lot of numbers today, and I know you don't want to hear about numbers. When I came 5 years ago, I was asked by our Board of Education to increase graduation rate, which was in the 80s at that time. We're now at 95%. I was told at the time when I came that we were 90th in teacher pay. After 4 of the last 5 years, we've given a 2% pay increase. We're now 29th in teacher pay. All of those things, really matter, because what Houston said is right. We want our community to grow, and we want people to come to our community. We see our enrollment rising because of numbers like that. We have teachers that want to come work for us now, whereas before they might want to go and work somewhere else. We're a district where people want to be. And one of the reasons for that is the many opportunities that we provide. We have the Career Tech Center that offers multiple opportunities. As a matter of fact, as far as districts go in this area, we produce more students that graduate with an industry level certification than any district that touches us. So we offer opportunities where, we have a fantastic, learning opportunity for our students. We have great teachers, and we're really rocking right now. Another thing I was told when I came here was, you will never get turf fields in Franklin County. And I take that as a challenge. We actually did come with a couple of proposals where we could collaborate with the city and the county on turf fields. Unfortunately, we couldn't come to some agreement there, so we just went and did it ourselves. And we're very hopeful of being able to collaborate with our city and county on future projects, because we all know that when we work together, that's when true community growth happens. And I know we're all supposed to be talking about all the great things, and we could go on and on and on, but I want to talk not just about the great things we've done, I want to talk about the great things that are coming. And one of those things, again, the easiest answer you can ever give someone is no, right? Easiest thing to say, no. I try to find a way to say yes. And I challenge all of our employees to try to find a way to say yes. So when we're talking about the fact that this community, there are 48 states in the continental United States. 47 of those states have a capital city that has a performing arts center. Guess which one doesn't? It's not Dover, Delaware, they have one. It's us. We need a performing arts center. And guess what else we need? An indoor swimming pool for our kids, right? So, I want to talk about those things together. Russell Springs Independent built a combined performing arts center and natatorium for their students, and they found a way to do that. As a school district, we have already met with the architects who built that facility. We have already started to have meetings with community, city, and county collaborators. We need support, just like Kathy said. I absolutely agree, Kathy. We all should say that. But I take it as a challenge, and we're going to do everything we can as a school district to work together to build a performing arts center and a natatorium indoor swimming facility, because that's what this community needs. So in terms of great things, that's going to be a great thing, and we're going to make it happen. So I want to thank you for the time. Tish has given me the 1 minute signal. I thought for sure she'd give it to Houston, but he's a short timer, so. Seriously, God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting our kids. They need your support more than anything else. Thank you very much.
All right, our next speaker is from Kentucky State University, which is an institution that we've all been watching here lately, and I know that we all want to support it, and we all want it to be successful here in our community. And so that's why it's very important that we have someone here today to talk to us about it. And I had to bring notes because he has a couple of different titles. So today we have with us Dr. Kirk Pomper, and he's the Director of Land Grant Programs and also the Dean and Professor of the College of Agriculture and Community and the Sciences. Dr. Kirk Pomper, let's welcome him.
Well, good morning, everybody, and greetings from Kentucky State University and President Stamps. And I want to bring three positive things and things that are positive right now from Kentucky State University. And I guess the first one is, we've all watched, especially myself and many others have watched the progression of House Bill 250 through the legislature. And of course, it was passed and signed on Friday. And so, we really want to thank everybody in this room. Thank you for your support. And I know that one of the co-sponsors of the bill is standing back here, Representative Pfister, so thank you for co-sponsoring that bill. Thank you. Yeah. And so we're really thrilled to have the opportunity and thankful to have the opportunity to move forward, hopefully for another 135 years, right? And so we do wait now to find out exactly how that's going to be implemented. I know CPE has large meetings this week, and so we wait for them to meet with us now next week to roll out that implementation. But the great thing is, I'm very positive about the opportunities and the programming that we have at Kentucky State University, whether it's academics or land grant, and we look forward to continuing to serve Frankfort and surrounding regions and our service area, and thank everybody here for their support. I know I saw a number of you down at the legislature and a number of folks I know contacting their legislators, so I want to thank you once again. Thank you for your support. So I still have two more things if I can. So of course we're coming to the end of the year, really excited. It's graduation coming up, and there is a graduation coming up, and of course, and I'm going to forget now, I think it is actually the 12th, I'm probably wrong, but anyways, but we do actually have at the Kentucky State University Farm, we have a tradition, which we're back in person this year, which is the Harold R. Benson Luncheon. So I want to invite anybody who would like to come to that. That's 11 o'clock on May 3rd at the KSU Farm. And that's a celebration of the life and legacy of Harold R. Benson. He was the longest serving land grant director for 34 years, at Kentucky State University and really started a lot of the things that we think about when we think about land grant, aquaculture, right, and a lot of the ag programs. And so we recognize his contributions and we recognize our graduates in agriculture. And this year our keynote speaker will be Representative Graham, and it's also going to be words from Commissioner Quarles. And so I welcome all of you to come out and attend and celebrate our graduates' accomplishment of earning a degree and send them forth for success. The other event I want to invite you to is the Third Thursday event. And I know a lot of you, how many people have been at a Third Thursday thing at the farm? Wow, there's a lot of people with a great opportunity to come out. So every third Thursday at the KSU farm, which is about 2 miles down Mills Lane off of 127, it's an event every third Thursday, which it has many different topics. Every Thursday it could be aquaculture, it could be goats, it could be horticulture, it could be natural resources, it could be economic development. Different topic each month, but it is actually the 25th anniversary of the Third Thursday program this summer. And so on July 21st, if you can make it out, we're going to have a large combined Third Thursday field day. So there'll be a lot of activity. We're expecting somewhere around 300 to 500 people, but we would love to have you come out and see a lot of the different programming at K-State. And if you haven't been to the KSU farm, it is a beautiful facility, and it's great programming going on out there, and research and extension. So once again, hope you'll be able to come to the Benson Luncheon or the KSU farm for the Third Thursday. I think I had a question maybe, but nope, okay. Someone saying they're going to come. There we go. So anyways, thank you again, for all your support, and it's great to be here today, and I'll take any questions afterwards. Thank you.
Great. See, I think I see a theme about community support. So, again, with all of, we care about our schools, we care about our utility, we care about our university, and now we're going to hear from our city mayor, and I'm sure he has all kinds of things to tell us about that we should care about and support. So that is going to be Mayor Elaine Wilkerson.
I need notes. I don't know how you guys do that. Now, thank you for everyone for being here, and I appreciate the Chamber of Commerce for putting this together. It's an opportunity for all of us to get together at least once a year, talk about the positive things, create some momentum, and that's one of the things I want to talk about today, momentum. I'm a firm believer in momentum, and that small wins create other wins, larger wins, and I think it builds on itself. And I think after you hear all of this today, you're going to come away thinking that Frankfort is the place to be, and as Dr. Barber said as well. I want you to also know that Frankfort is a city on the move, and that we are positioning ourselves to be the Kentucky city of the future. We want this to be a hub of innovation, creativity, capital, not just the state capital, but the money kind, ideas, and of course people. But I'll talk about some of those things we're working on, in the future. But first, I want to talk about what we did last year as a first year as a Board of Commissioners. And I know in the future we want to do this in January, February. But just give me a little bit of time to talk about last year. We did, as a new commission, we had some key hires, some reinforcements. There were some areas where I thought we needed some help. One of the things we did was, besides hiring a new city manager, Laura Haig, we hired a strategic initiatives consultant, Penny Peevler. We also partnered with a government affairs firm to help us develop our relationships at the Capitol, with Representative Pfister, Representative Graham, Senator Southworth, and then the ones that we don't know, that don't represent us. And thank you, Representative Pfister. And then we also activated several of our master plans that we've created over the years: the Downtown Master Plan, the Arts Master Plan, the Parks Master Plan, the Wayfinding Plan. All of those things are starting to come to fruition, and we're going to continue to build upon those this year. We also had some key economic development initiatives. Since I was mayor, became mayor, we have passed 2 TIF development agreements, one for the parcels B and C. Well, you know where that is. Does anybody need any help finding that over there? And also for the new paddocks development, which is near the interstate in 127. We actually had our first reading last night for that TIF development. We have huge opportunities in front of us, and one of the things that's going to guide us this year is our strategic plan. We did adopt a strategic plan for our commission with the key areas of focus. One, telling Frankfurt's story. Another is economic development. Another is idea values, that's inclusivity, diversity, equity, and accessibility, and as well as sustainability, and not just the environmental kind, but financial as well, and human sustainability and government sustainability. Briefly, on the telling Frankfurt's story, one of the areas we're going to focus on is creating a strategic communications plan. We have to be more proactive and focus and emphasize PR and outreach. We need to do a better job of telling Frankfurt's story and be proactive on the good things that are happening, similar to what we're doing today. Economic development. I know this is all about positivity, but we have a shortfall in our budget based on the trends that are happening with state government and our occupational tax. We need to address that. So we're looking at areas to even up our budget. And one of the areas we're going to focus on this year is making available property ready for economic development, and that includes focusing on abandoned properties and vacant properties, vacant lots. We have a couple of ideas there that we'll be rolling out in the next couple of months. One, I want to focus on an incentive to get some of the larger properties that we have and that we'll continue to have based on the rebalancing of state government, to have incentives for developers to attract employers. We also need to focus on livability and quality of life. Indoor pool has been mentioned. We appreciate that. And then also the Performing Arts Center. It's a great idea. We're going to continue to focus on the Arts Master Plan. We're going to continue to focus on strategic businesses that we need here in Frankfurt to keep people here. I like to say this is a customer service business. We have people that can move their families, they can move their businesses, they can move their money out of Frankfurt at any time. So we need to make it a place where people are going to stay. Also, parks and recreation. We're going to continue to implement the Parks Master Plan. The plan is still to have a YMCA in the development over there, the parcels B and C. We're going to continue to focus on that. And then also more housing options. There's over 100 units have been proposed where the old Civic Center site is, the paddocks. There will be more residential there. And then we're going to focus on incentives for more apartments downtown. And I have to mention, too, yesterday the governor signed House Bill 242, which includes $3.5 million of funding for the pedestrian crossing where the old Broadway Bridge is right now. So that's going to be key in helping us develop the riverfront development and the park system there. So that's going to be key in activating the hike and bike trail. So I think we're going to be looking back 10 years from now and seeing that as one of the key things that was a catalyst for downtown. So we're very excited about that. Moving forward, and hopefully I'm doing okay on time. Sustainability. With finance, we created a finance committee that's going to help our finance director create new ways of finding revenue. And then we did a salary survey for our human resources. We need, as Dr. Kopp said, we need to focus on paying the right salary to keep employees working for city government. But beyond that, I want the takeaways, again, the momentum. I think now's the time to be investing in Frankfurt. I'm hearing that from developers, that there's a lot of momentum here. Frankfurt is a city on the move. This Board of Commissioners, we intend to continue to build on the momentum by executing the plans that are in front of us. And I hope that next year when we're sitting here, we're going to have a longer list of accomplishments that we can tout. So I think the best is yet to come. The dominoes are starting to fall. And I want everybody here to stay positive and stay tuned for more to happen. So thank you.
All right, Mr. Mayor. Okay, and last, but certainly not least, is our county judge executive. He's been around in our community for a long time, so I'm sure he has a lot to talk about, a lot of things going on. So please help me welcome our county judge executive, Houston Wells.
Thank you. I do have a lot to talk about in a short time, so I'll do my best to stay on time. First and foremost, I'd like for Tish Shade and her staff to stand up. If you would, let's give them a round of applause for having us this morning. Tish and your staff, thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. This is a great event, Susan. Thank you. This is a great event, and we're honored to be here. And Mr. Kopp, I'm going to challenge you. Let's do it.
Let's go.
This is budget time during this time of year for the city and the county. It's just a process, and the process starts tomorrow. Well, actually, it started the 1st of April with jail budget. We're going through the department heads and the elected officials, and we're working on that. As part of the budget, I'm here to announce today, Mr. Kopp, that I'm putting $1 million in our budget out of reserve for a pool, an indoor swimming pool, to UMass. The challenge is on. Let's get this done. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Okay? So, as the mayor was talking, it's this part of who we are. We are a community. He talked about the city. I'm here to talk about the county. But really, we're all talking about this great community that we live in. Most of you, probably virtually all of you, don't know where a county boundary is, or the city and county boundary. That's why we live in this community, and we understand that we are all one community, working together. So the mayor and I want you to know, work together quite often. We meet maybe every couple weeks. We talk about issues, we work through issues, and that's what should be. That's what makes our community better, is when we work together, we have a great community. So we're working for you through both city and county government to make this one great community. As part of that, you can see what happens when we grow. What has happened in the past 3 years, actually 4 years now, our property taxes have not gone up. For 3 years in a row, they've remained the same. Last year was even better. We got to cut property taxes. They went down. So when you grow, your property taxes go down. That's why we got to continue to push forward and working together, all of us together. The schools, KSU, the city, the county. When we work together, we're going to pay less in taxes. That's what we want. That's exactly the way it should be. One of the things that has really, really helped us, through the federal government, we received a couple years ago COVID monies. They have tremendously helped us through the crisis that we had over a year ago and have endured for a couple years. Those COVID monies, in our case, were about $2 million, a little over $2 million, and we've put those in the budget, and we've used those to help our community in many different ways. But there's a bigger pot of money that has come through the federal government. That's called ARPA. And ARPA monies are there for us to use as well. And we're getting just under $10 million in ARPA monies. Last year we got just under $5 million. This May we're going to get another check for just under $5 million. Those are somewhat restricted monies, but we are using them in the most important way that we can help our community. And here's where they're going. Number one, Kathy Lindsay, you talked about the plant board and how proud we are of the plant board. The plant board and the county have partnered together to provide broadband to every household in our community that needs it, the unserved and the underserved. Thank you as a partner with the plant board. So broadband across our community. And you know, Mark Kopp, how much that helps you. How much it helps the school system, makes the school system better. Working together makes our community better. Number two, there's an area of Frankfort in the south end of 127 South called Farmdale. There are over 1,000 homes that are affected by antiquated, dilapidated, unusable sewer system. The county has worked very hard with the Farmdale Sanitation District to eliminate this problem. The city and the county worked together just in the past 6 months, and we've put in almost $2 million through state funds to build a new pump station off Twilight Trail. The city and the county have worked together. We're going to come up with a resolution where we are going to work with the city to have the city take the refuse, the sewer from the Farmdale area, and that means that new sewers are going to come into that area. And that is awesome. That will change that community dramatically. It will help them so much. And I'm here today to announce, even though this has not been officially announced by our Congressman, Andy Barr, in working very close with our Congressman, I am proud today to say that in this year's budget, federal budget, there's $3.5 million appropriated for the Farmdale Sanitation District. And as part of that, the county has pledged $1.5 million from the ARPA funds, which makes a total of $5 million. $5 million that will be in a pot to use for the Farmdale Sanitation District to get the project started. So $5 million of monies from the federal government to get it started, and that's just the beginning. We're so excited about that, and I know those of you that live in the area or have families in that area, I know they're excited. But this is a great start to help that area out. The next piece of ARPA monies have been allocated to the water districts. We have 6 water districts in our community. Also the Frankfurt Plant Board, we've allotted $100,000 out of those funds to help the water districts out. One, to provide better water lines, to prevent leakage, and to help them lower the cost to you as ratepayers in that area. And I must say, the Frankfurt Plant Board provides water to most of those water districts, and we thank you. So once again, another partnership working together as a community. Thank you, Gary Zing and the Frankfurt Plant Board. Also on the horizon, coming forward with us, we have a 70-year-old facility off of Lewis Ferry. It's our Franklin County Road Department. And I'm going to say this. Mayor, I say this to you, and I say this to the state, Mr. Pfister, and I say this most importantly about Franklin County. Our road departments, our service that our road departments provide you are second to none. When it snows, when we get even an inch of snow, they're there. They're out there all night. They're working very hard. You look at and I'll give you a perfect example. And I'm sorry, give me a little bit of time on this. About a month ago, I was in Lexington, and I drove in a snowstorm to go do this crazy thing in Lexington. Sorry, I'm stupid. My wife was fussing at me the whole time. Huge snowfall, crazy snowfall, abnormal. Came back home, barely made it home, got to the Franklin County line, and I'm telling you what, there was hardly a drop. That the roads were as clear as it could be. Our Franklin County Road Department, the City of Frankfurt Road Department, and the state are tremendous in our community. We're very fortunate. We're very proud that the Franklin County Fiscal Court is going to build a new road department for our great employees there. So, there's another great thing that's happening. We're kind of in a limbo right now, but the Lakeview Park Master Plan was approved. There are many items in there, Mr. Kopp. One of the big items in there, and I think it will be a fantastic venue, and that is there'll be an amphitheater. And then at the horse track area, there'll be an amphitheater there. So if we look out into the future, here's what we could see. We could have Friday night concerts down here. We could have Saturday night concerts out there. So all during the summer, we could have great events. We could have concerts, we could have plays, performances, outdoors. What a great opportunity for our community. And when we do those kinds of things, and when we work together as a community, we make this a great place to live and work. And that is what our goal should be. With that being said, that's as brief as I can be. Thank you, and I see you're about to come up and get me. Let's work together. The future is bright. Our community is great. Thank you all.
So we're going to take questions now. So if you're at a table and you've got some questions going, go and write those down. Give them to Tish or to Joy. Joy's on this side, or just Susie's over here. So if you have questions, write them down, and we'll bring them up here, and I'll put them with the other questions we have. And let's stay nice. So I do want to say, after listening to everybody, we do have a lot of things in our community that we should be proud of. This is a great community, and we should care about every asset of our community, because that's what we are. We're asset. We have assets in our community because they belong to us, and we should take care of them, and we should care about them. And where we do have shortcomings, then we need to work together to make them better. And that's why I'm so glad that we all come here today, and that we will continue to work together to move Frankfurt forward. So, if we're getting questions, all right. And then I've got some more here. All right, first question, and I think maybe this is for the mayor. Any movement on ownership of Capitol View Park?
I'm not sure what I can say on this, but I do know that we have had discussions with the state, and we are looking at alternatives for the state to relocate. We've had a request that the state could, you need to find another piece of land, basically, for that. So we have had discussions about that.
Okay, I'm getting word that if you answer a question, you have to come up here. Sorry. What is the future of the old federal building, the former Paul Sawyer Library? Does anybody know that?
I'll have to ask Kentucky State.
Okay, so no official word?
I guess I'm going to walk all the way up here and say there's no official word, but it is a K-State property, and I think these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about, in the coming year. Thanks.
All right. Moving on. Okay, well, maybe you should stay up here. We got one more. Sorry. You're the big winner today, evidently. What programs are in place to better connect KSU with the Frankfurt community?
Right, and that's a good question, because I do think that, I've been here 24 years, and time flies. And, there have been kind of ups and downs with K-State interacting more and more with the community. And I think right now we have an opportunity to have more and more programs in the community. Right now we've got the Rosenwald Center right down here, which has open houses and has opportunity for folks to have their students participate in 4-H camps, along with, the 4-H that's already going on through the county. We do have our different land grant programs and outreach for entrepreneurship. We actually have a business coach model that we have for businesses here in Kentucky, and that's through the Small Business Administration. Just a lot of different things like that. We do have a sustainability coordinator coming on, and that person is going to work with the city of Frankfurt on trying to find ways to help, in terms of whether it's recycling, energy use, or other things between K-State and Frankfurt. And so that's something we could look at too. But I don't know if it answers everyone's question, but I think the key is we need to work together more and more. Sometimes folks just don't know about the K-State programming that's out there, and that's somewhat my fault too, because as a land grant director, we need to get that word out more. So that's one thing that we're definitely going to do. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, this one is for the mayor. As far as parcels B and C, do you believe this funding will come through in 2022? And then 80% chance, question mark?
Yes, I do. I think it's going to come through in 2022 based on the latest application that we had to submit. I don't think that they would be, and we have Rebecca Hall here who could probably help us out too. I do If I were a betting person, I would bet on it, but, what is it, what, SHPO? Okay, and they wouldn't be this far along if we weren't, right? But I don't, again, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx that, but I do think it'll happen soon. And once that happens, then everything else can proceed. Kathy, where'd you go? Sorry. Mercury.
Thank you. Okay, this is for the judge. All right, this one says, please explain the short-term benefits to Franklin County residents versus the long-term benefits of attracting future residents.
The short term as opposed to the long term.
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
It
As
is.
opposed?
Oh,
What are we getting for our money?
okay.
Well, as I said earlier, when we grow, and growth is part, short term actually helps the schools out. It helps the businesses out. We're here to, sorry, I'm supposed to stay behind the stage, and that's hard for me. But as we invest in our community and bringing people in and living in our community adds a base that we badly need. And part of that base is growing our schools. It helps our businesses grow. It provides resources that are badly needed with I call it academic brain power that help our community. In the long term, thank you. In the long term, what happens is that as families grow up here, they come back here, and the kids may go to school at wherever, to college. Whether it could be Kentucky State, but it could be other places. But what happens is we have good jobs. Good jobs means more than anything because it provides longevity. It provides a short term for the residents, for people in this community, and it also provides security for the future. So I hope that answered your question to the best we can at the moment. But thank you.
Thank you. All right, this one's for the mayor. Status of the old YMCA building.
On this, I really don't know. This is one of the abandoned properties that we hope to address here in 2022 and force some action, not just the old YMCA, but there are several prominent ones in the downtown area, and thankfully not as many as there used to be, but that's something we do want to address and force action on the owners or transfer of ownership, and then provide incentives to get those properties moving.
Okay, here's one that possibly three of you can answer.
I pick him.
What types of partnerships do you envision between the city, the county, and Kentucky State University to make all more successful?
I'll go first. I think we all should maybe answer that.
Okay.
Okay. I would love to answer. Yeah, I would hope you would. Yeah. First of all, a great asset. Kentucky State University is a fantastic asset. It is underutilized. We can't sit here and say that we're just working out all kinds of things. That takes communication. That takes leadership. That takes all of us together partnering with Kentucky State. Let's not forget that Kentucky State is Frankfurt's own university, okay? It's our university. We own it. So we need to accept that, and we need to work together. You mentioned earlier the farm. Probably a lot of you have not been there. As a matter of fact, I think I'm not trying to be offensive here, but when you ask how many people go out for Thursdays at the KSU farm, nobody raised their hand. Communication. We don't know about it. You told us today about May 3rd event. I hope there's advertisement on it. We all have to work together. And part of that is, I say to you and I challenge you, let it communicate with us. We need to communicate with them, working together. Working together, it makes our community stronger.
Thank you, Judge. And I just want to, I know this really isn't about the schools, but everything's about the schools. Every single thing that we do is about Frankfort Independent, Franklin County Schools, and Kentucky State. The judge mentions cooperation, communication, collaboration. I appreciate very much the $1 million, and Mayor, you're up now. You're on deck. You know, frankly, every business that's in this room today, you're on deck. You know, school systems have a very limited amount of resources to do projects. When we came to the city and the county a couple years ago for turf fields, those cost $2 million. We found a way to make that happen, okay? The $1 million that the judge has mentioned today is 1/25 of the way towards a combined performing arts centers and swimming facility. That's about $25 million. If we just wanted to do a swimming facility, it's $14 to $15 million, most likely. So that means we could have the Buffalo Trace Community Trust Traditional Bank West Banco swimming facility, just looking around the room a little bit. But seriously, it is about working together for the common good. Understanding, I lived in Hardin County where they built the Elizabethtown Sports Park. There was a lot of controversy when that was put on the ballot for a 2% restaurant tax. That was a $27 million facility. Has anyone been to Elizabethtown since that was built? It is unbelievable, the growth that has happened. There are 9 hotels that weren't there before. There are 50 new restaurants. Hardin County Schools has increased its population from 13.5 to 15.5, 2,000 students, and that's within the last 7 years. So when we were asked the question about short-term, long-term growth, that's what happens. You do see a short-term and a long-term impact, and that's going to help grow our community. So we are all for communicating, collaborating, and working together to make this community better.
Thank you for that challenge. I must say everything is pending commission approval, not just me, right? So we have to ask the commission. And I would say partnering with Kentucky State, in the short term, we have the Excellence Center, and we are working, we're having discussions on getting the pool that's there up and running again so that we have access to that. You know, so we're preparing for the long-term solution of an indoor pool. But beyond that, there is, Excellence Center is a natural opportunity for city, county, schools to partner with Kentucky State because there is a 100,000 square foot facility there. We need a new facility, a wellness center, a fitness center, recreation center. There are opportunities there. Beyond that, we have had discussions with Kentucky State about a certificate program. Last year, the city launched a remote Frankfurt initiative. We partnered with a firm out of Louisville, Interapt, to do training for, I guess, 21st century jobs. The last one was data analytics. The next one we're preparing for is cybersecurity. But the goal is to have a certificate program with Kentucky State so that people will get a certificate. And then if they want to pursue a degree from Kentucky State, they can. But the main thing is that it's a certificate and it counts toward Kentucky State's numbers in terms of graduates. So that's another area as well.
So I just want to say I'm hearing everybody, and once again we want to be K-State is an HBCU and we are Frankfurt's university and we need to find those partnerships, and I know we've got some meetings coming up with the city and the county and other folks out here, and I do think that there's a lot of opportunity, and I've been here long enough to see some of those opportunities. I think that we have the momentum right now to do those things. But we do have things that are already out there, like the fermentation distillation certificate. That's something that's already out there being offered right now for folks in the community, a 4-class certificate program for folks to learn that distillation industry. We've got a number of those types of programs. Once again, I agree, communication is everything. And so I stand here saying I'm listening, and let's get to working together. So thank you.
This one's for you, Dr. Baldwin. Come back. What is the status of the KSU riverboat? You're the star of the show today.
Well, I can't really say right now, and the reason is there's right now, it is not possibly gonna be in commission this summer, and there's a number of reasons for that. And so I guess at this point, we'll probably discuss that more publicly later, but at this point, I do not see it operating this summer. So I'm sorry about that for folks who are hoping that would happen, but there's some issues that come up, and so at this point, I do not plan to have it in operation this summer.
Thank you. All right. This one is for the mayor. Is there a plan to restore the quality of housing around the Capitol and attack the problem of substandard rental housing there and throughout Frankfurt?
Well, I would say there's no official plan that we are considering incentives in our budget for next year to help owners of properties with rehabilitation grants, similar to what has been offered before. We haven't decided on that yet. And I would say a lot of that is market driven. So, as property values increase, it'll be harder to sit on substandard properties. So I think a lot of that is going to be demand driven, and that's what we have to do as a community, is create that demand, and the rest will theoretically take care of itself.
Okay. We've been talking a lot about the pool, I guess. So the question is, how long do we have to wait for a pool? 2 years is too long.
I'll answer that. 2 years too long. No, I know the mayor's working with the KSU, and that's the first step. I don't think that's the last step. That's the initial phase, and we'll see how that works. And then after that, once we can get that moving, we'll see a direction on with the school systems, with the city, the county, and the YMCA where that leads. But it's going to take all of us together. As you said, it's 15 million, and then you were talking about 25 million, and then the Lakeview Park plan itself is estimated somewhere between 60 and 70 million. So that's a lot of money. There's no way that county government can do it by itself, so we all have to collaborate and work together to get this done. But first step, maybe for just the short term, will be KSU and the Exum Center. You have a facility in our community to work, and then we continue to meet and work together and go from there. So 2 years, maybe hopefully less than that for the Exum Center, and then 2 years of plan in place and money there and working to get something done.
Thank you. Okay, this one, we just have a few more. Just, right?
For the mayor, right?
This one is for the mayor. Please explain the plan for a new YMCA.
Well, YMCA is its own organization. The plan right now is that, but before the commission prior, there's Commissioner Sawyer, Mayor Sawyer. I think your commission allocated $2.5 million toward the building of a new YMCA to be located on the Parcel B site. Right now, that's still the plan. The developer has carved out a lot for the YMCA. The city's allocated money. We're tracking that, and the YMCA is raising money for that endeavor. That's the plan right now. And I think the YMCA is actually in the process of sending out surveys to find out exactly what will be desired at that location. But I think in some respects they were waiting to see what became of the Lakeview Park master plan, to see what was there before they decided on what would be needed downtown. But I think the basics would be there, just like what we had before. But that's the plan as I know it.
Thank you. Okay, we only have time for one more question, I'm told, so I'm going to ask, and this might be for the judge. What about the Buffalo Trace expansion on Peaks Mill Road? That's all it says. So. What do you think about that?
What I think about it, or what about it? First of all, Buffalo Trace is a great partner for our community. We love them to death, and right today, it's raining, and I guarantee you, whatever bourbon is being sold, there's probably a line 200 deep to try to get it, especially if it's Weller's or Bland's or Eagle Rare as well. So we know what a great partner they are. I'm not going to comment any further on where that is, because we haven't gotten to that point. But without question, all of us in this room, in this community, need to step up and support Buffalo Trace, because they're under attack. Whether you're for expansion or not for expansion, Buffalo Trace is a huge and vital entity to our community. So I'm not going pro or con on expansion. I'm going full force pro on supporting Buffalo Trace.
Thank you very much. And I think that's going to end that, because we're going to close it up. But I do want to thank all of you for coming to speak, but then also being here willing to answer the questions as they come up, because really it's kind of your job, so thanks. Appreciate it. And again, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I'm going to bring Tish back up here. I do want to say a special thanks to Tish and to Joy and to Susie for all they do. They do everything. If you're on the chamber board, they keep us all organized, and they do the events like this. So I want to thank them for all the work they do to put into events like this. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We appreciate this. We appreciate our community partners. All of you guys are our community partners, and we couldn't be more thrilled to be in the same community as you guys are. So we thank you all for coming. There is still food back there. We just want to say, again, thank you to the Plant Board and to Community Trust Bank for sponsoring this event today. Without them, we couldn't do events like this. So thank you to our board of directors, to our media partners, and to all of you, because we are in this together. So you guys go have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much for coming.